Hey guys, it's Sanoa
and Malia from Our Rich Journey Jr. And today we're going to be taking you guys on a day trip with us to Lago Azul.
It's a really popular lake in Portugal. We're going to be showing you the lake, but we're also going to be showing you a lot of other cool things in Portugal that we got to see before we went to the lake.
So we're going to take you guys while we eat out, while we go to the grocery store, and even as we drive to the lake.
But first, our channel is about making, saving, and investing money.
And we also used to live in the San Francisco Bay Area. But now that we've moved to Portugal, our videos are also about our life here in Portugal.
So if you want to learn about making, saving, and investing money, along with our life here in Portugal, make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Now, let's go to the lake.
So we're going to start off by giving you a glimpse of the lake that we went to. Like we said, it's called Lago Azul, which means blue lake. And we're going to show you a lot more of the lake in this video. But before that, we want to take you around Portugal with us to give you an idea of what it's like to live here.
Let's start off at the gas station. So, if you're from the US, you're used to buying gas by the gallon. But here in Portugal, you buy gas by the liter, since Portugal uses the metric system. And a couple of other differences between Portugal and the US when it comes to driving. The first thing is that most people drive a stick here. So, we'll probably learn how to drive a stick before we learn how to drive an automatic car. The second thing is that we won't be able to get our driver's license here in Portugal until we turn 18. That's the age you need to be to drive a regular car here in Portugal. There are exceptions for mopeds and really small smart cars, but in general, you have to be 18 years old.
Let's talk about the food and eating out. We have a couple of favorite restaurants that we love to go to. This is one that we found on the way to the lake that we've been to a couple of times already. Portuguese food is big on fish and other meats like steak, but when we go out, we usually order spaghetti, chicken, or pizza. Usually, no matter where we go, we can always find one of these things on the menu. So, of course, there are the traditional Portuguese restaurants, but Portugal also has a ton of different restaurants with different types of food. You can find Chinese food, Mexican food, Japanese food, Italian food. They have a lot of different types of food here.
So, before we went to the lake and after we ate lunch, we also went to the grocery store to pack some snacks for the day. Grocery stores in Portugal are a lot smaller than the grocery stores we've been to in the States. One of the chain stores in Portugal is called Pingo Doce, which is the grocery store that we usually go to. There's another chain called Continente, and we go to that store a lot too. We usually get all of our groceries at both of these stores. Of course, there are American foods that they don't have at the regular grocery stores here in Portugal. But we go to Lisbon for those things. If you want to see what we did in Lisbon and the specialty stores that we stop at, make sure you check out the video that we did on our day trip to Lisbon. We'll leave a link for that in the description below.
So now let's head to Lago Azul. We went on a super hot day, but we also went in the middle of the week, so the lake wasn't as crowded as it normally gets. On the weekends, the lake can get super crowded, especially during the summertime and even more during the month of August.
The lake is about 1 hour and 45 minutes northeast of Lisbon and 2 hours southeast of Porto. It's pretty much between Porto and Lisbon, but just east. We'll leave a Google Maps link in the description below if you're interested in going there and checking it out. One thing I really like about driving to this lake is that the roads aren't super narrow and curvy to get there. We've been to other lakes here in Portugal where there are a lot of twists and turns. I can get a little carsick, but I don't get carsick when we drive to this lake. Plus, the lake is so huge. It's our favorite lake to go to.
So here it is. Here's the lake. There's actually a lot of different ways to access the lake because the lake is so large. But this is one of our favorite spots just because of everything around the area. Each time we come to the lake, we bring our own inflatable rafts, but you can also buy rafts at the shop near the lake. There's also a cafe where you can order food, pick up snacks, or order drinks. And you can even rent paddle boards, rowboats, and motorboats out there. We saw people tubing while we were at the lake, but people also go wakeboarding and skiing.
Another thing that we like about this lake is that it's easy to park and then just head straight down to the lake. We don't have to park super far away, which is good because we usually have a lot of stuff to carry. So, when we get to the lake, we just go from our parking spot down a short way, and then there we are. And we just set up our towels and blankets on the edge of the lake. People usually bring their blankets, sun umbrellas, and food. And they just set up everything on the sandy area. Another thing is that in the same area on the edge of the lake is a lifeguard and a first aid kit.
So there are actually these really large buoys that separate the swimming area from the boaters. And the swimming area is really large and it's divided into two separate sections. The first section is the area enclosed with large floating connected buoys. It's really strong and people can walk on it. But the cool thing is that there's also a bottom to it that you can stand on. It's almost like the buoys were used to create two swimming pools. The large area is about 5 feet deep. We could touch the bottom, and the smaller area is only about 2 feet deep for the little kids. There's no age restriction for the different enclosed areas. There also isn't any swim test or height requirement. But you don't see people who don't know how to swim go into the biggest area enclosed by the buoys unless they are tall enough to stand and touch the bottom.
So when we went to the lake, it was super hot out. But it still took us a little while to actually get into the water. The water was a little cool at first, but then we got used to it and didn't want to get out. I'm not really sure what the exact temperature was, but I would compare it to the temperature of a pool. It was definitely a lot warmer than the ocean.
When we go to this lake, we mostly stay in the area with the connected buoys. We spend most of our time in these areas, but we also like to run and jump and dive outside the buoy area. When we go outside of the connected buoys, there are no buoys at the bottom. So basically, whenever you hit the bottom of the lake, that's the bottom. And I've tried to get to the bottom of the lake after jumping into it, and I haven't been able to reach it. So I think it's pretty deep. I couldn't even see the bottom just by looking down.
Oh, that's another thing about the lake. It's really clear. You can see everything in the water, including fish. There are actually a lot of fish in the lake, even in the area enclosed by the buoys. There's a big net below the buoys, but small fish can make their way through the net. It's pretty cool because you can see them when you're standing outside of the water looking over the edge.
So on this day at the lake, we pretty much spent the entire afternoon there. We played around in the enclosed area, we laid out on our inner tubes, we dove off the side of the buoys, and then after all of that, we took out all of our snacks we bought at the store and had a bite to eat. Then we laid out for a bit, and then we even got ice cream from the cafe before we headed back home. It was a perfect day to go to the lake.
Thanks for letting us share our day with you. If you want to see more videos like this about our life in Portugal, make sure you check out our channel every week. We post new videos each week. And of course, if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and join the journey.